Okay, I'm getting excited. I'm about to able to use my work planner. Um, I think I'm going to use this as a mood tracker for work because there are some days, baby, you already know how it is. But I think I'm just going to use this as a mood tracker for work. So still here I did all my things, paydays, meetings, contract start, stop. So this will be going to more. Then I'm gonna use it for mood tracking at work. I'm gonna do something here, but I had to stick these down so because I need to leave a lot of stuff at work because man, the lab is crazy. So priorities, I can actually write my priorities. Priorities is going to get down morning routines because I'm working day shift and it's a lot of stuff on morning routines. Um, Schedule prep because man, they do not know how to do schedules up there. This one, what was it? Oh, SOP prep. SOP prep, and what else do we have issues with? Communication, because they can't communicate with it. Damn! I don't have anything important yet. I should have all my passwords by then. And then I could just go ahead and fill in there. But right now, baby, make my hair hurt. So, one thing I can put in here, which I'll probably come back and I'll come back in another video and finish it out. I'm off that day. But I do. I got these. So I'm working Friday and Saturday. That's all I got. I'll get the rest of them later. Where are my stickers at? Because this is. Do I have it here or do I have it somewhere else? I thought I had it here. But this is a. Now I know I got this specifically for that one. See, this is what happens when you got too much stuff. When you got way too much stuff. What is this? Oh, that's shopping. And you know, normally I would have already had the stickers up and out and ready. But for some reason, I don't have them. And did I put them in here? Hold on. Alright, so I have no idea where those stickers went, but I thought I had got my, I thought I had got some payday stickers, but apparently I did, but they're somewhere else, and I guarantee you I'm going to find them. So, these too big to put in here. So I'm just going to grab these. Just throw them in there. Because I could have swore. Whatever. I actually get paid on Thursdays. Because, you know what? Don't tick me off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're just going to do this. And that is to, wait a minute. Now, I know I'm not going crazy. Now, I could have swore that I had got some really small payday stickers because I remember ordering them. And as you can tell, I'm really trying to find my stickers because I like them. That's the whole point of ordering them, so they could go into my book. So I don't have no issues. And I know it's not in here because I checked these before. Okay. I know. Girl, give it up. You know how you have something and then now you just don't, you don't know what it is. What was I using for a payday? Pink. I guess. It's not what I want to use. I could use those, but that's not what I want. I want what I brought. Ah, there we go. I'm about to say, now I know I brought them. I know, I done took all day spending that, and I could have just paused the video. But yeah, but I didn't. I apologize. If I'm about to say, I knew I had them. So, I swear. I swear. So, they're not going to be facing the same way. I just saw that. This is different. They usually used to face the opposite way. That is interesting. I didn't realize they were changed. But it is what it is. I'll just put them this way then. Even though I don't like that. I don't mind. I can't have them upside down. Because then they won't look right. You know, it's just... it is a lot going on today. I don't understand what's going on. So, it's a 5 payday month. Cool. I get paid weekly no matter what. Because that's how my contracts work. So, Shayla, put these back. Because if not, then you're going to go through the same thing. And then they're going to think you're crazy. So, put that back. And then the rest has to be filled, I guess, with meetings and everything that I'll have. And this is where I wanted to use my new ones. So, and you know what? I actually had it where everything was, I knew exactly what I wanted to use, but I never did get a chance to, you know, like just take it out and put everything down there. So I'm like, oh my goodness. Because sometimes I just hate flipping through and I'm like, you know what, you could have done this, you could have done that. But since I'm not using kits and I'm just using stuff for work, I like it to be colorful. I work in a lab and be some dreary days. And do we have windows? I think we have windows. Yeah, sometimes I work in a lab, we don't have windows, you know. So I am working Saturday, Sunday. Where's my schedule? Where's the schedule at? So I'm working Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, and most likely Sunday, but you know. Wait a minute. I'm working 2 12s and 2 8s. Nope, I gotta work 2 12s, a 10, and an 8. So I'll probably be working. It's a lot. I've never been at a place where they don't, the schedules well, yes I do. This will be the second time I've worked at a place where the schedule is just constantly wrong. And I don't like that. Hear Lucy running through. But yeah, I don't like that. Like just you know when I have to work. I know when I have to work. You know how many hours I need. So Monday, Tuesday off, Wednesday, Thursday, work Friday, Saturday. And I hate this type of schedule. And honestly, there's no need for this to be a type of schedule. But you know, whatever. So will be the first time I've been in a schedule this bad at a lab. But that's working. I just like looking at all this stuff. And I really don't think... Did I want to put this up here? Yeah. Because I was going to use this for the other one. But nope. I'll go ahead and use this here. Which is Thursday's New Year's Day. And I'm off. And then New Year's Eve and I'm off. Which is typical. Normally, unless it's in your contract, you don't work. Well, from the people I've known, they don't work the weekend or holidays because that's already set for people for the permanent party. So normally I don't do that. But okay, now I see some Payday no, just hydrate. Now one thing I do need to check. No, because that's not going to make any sense. Because I'm going to have to do it every day. And I don't think I want to put a hydration tracker in every day at work. But this needs to stay as empty as it can be. Because it'll be work. And then I'll write down what goes on. All the stuff that's going on. Because, man, the drama that be happening at a lab is hilarious. And I didn't know. But I do want some very pretty butterfly stickers here. So looking ahead, that'll be for stuff that won't be for breakdown. Priorities. Priorities need to, gonna be a priority? No. That needs to be a to-do list because it is so much stuff that I have to do when I get to work. And I think, and you know what's funny is I really didn't want to, I didn't want to use these stickers because they're so cute. And I was like, Shayla, don't you do it this year. You better use all your stickers. That's why I'm sitting here with books from like 3 years ago. Because I didn't use them. So I got a portent. And honestly, before I used to sit there and be like, oh, I need to match. I do not care no more. Yeah, I've come a long way. Because I think I was just being frustrated by, let's see, taking out important. I think I was getting frustrated because I was trying to have to do something that really didn't make any sense. And I'm like, Shayla, this is the planner you're supposed to be planning. Instead, you're getting yourself frustrated and all this other types of stuff. And I do lock it in here, so when it comes out, I just throw it in there. Actually, that is kind of cute. Looking ahead, important. You know what? I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to put there, because that's not the headers of the to-dos I want. Is this what I used to go through? Actually, that's cute. Yeah. Looking ahead, so this will kind of serve as my next week. You know, like, I wonder if they have that. If they do have that, then I will use that because I just realized I don't have a next week up here. You know what? I just realized I don't think they have any meetings because I've been there for going on 2 weeks and they haven't had a meeting yet. And it's the end of the year. And they didn't have one at the beginning or the notes would have been out. So I'm thinking they don't have monthly meetings or what else? Huddles during the day. And that's interesting. I think everything about everything I got going on is just like is just, hey, what's going on? It's just interesting. Every lab I go to is different. Do I want to do that? I could, but I'll wait. I think that would be too busy. I know what days I'm off work. Could have been those to-dos, but there's not too much stuff I want to do. So what I have a lot of morning routines I have to do, depending on what type of bench I'm at. So the benches I work are hematology, blood bank, chemistry, microbiology, urology, and serology are together as well. So urology is with hematology, and so is serology, but serology is also with microbiology, blood bank. Those two are just weird. So Monday, I'll put the bench. I'm working. Sometimes you work 2 benches. Sometimes you'll do 3. It's a small lab, not a lot of people, so you're covering more. Normally you'll cover 1 bench, not here. So I write down the bench I'm working. Anything that goes on, because like I showed, you'll see it in my other work video. So this is the work plan I have now because it's for training purposes. But as you can tell, this is a week of training. This is my first week of training, and everything's here. And this is my second week of training. All this stuff here. So I don't really do a lot of books, a lot of right now what's going on, but that's training. But here, I'll have work, my bench, and like anything that broke down. Any take notes. I should probably put the notes here. I do my routines here, stuff I need to remember, and all that type of stuff. Then for the second half of it, here. So I work. So I'm working Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. So I'm off Wednesday and Thursday. And maybe Sunday. I don't know. But this is how I wanted to use some of these stickers. If I could grab them, if I could find them. Some of them are just so pretty, so cute. And I don't know if I'm gonna end up doing them all of them one way. But, okay, so is this not the book? I don't think this is the book. Oh, that's what I had originally wanted to do. I saw what I originally wanted to do. Oh, okay, cool. And okay. I saw what I originally wanted to do. Because I think I want to save these for inside the actual planner. But payday. That's how I wanted to mark my paydays. Since I get paid. Yep, paydays. And then this inside the planner on both lines, so I'm not tripping on that. But yeah, I think this is not the one that I was looking for with some of the decorations. Well, how do y'all make it through with all these planner stickers and stuff like that? Because baby, when I tell you your sister's having a hard time, my sister is having a hard time. I think that is what I want to do. So I actually thought that I was going to take some of these stickers and do some special stuff. But like I said, I'm not sure how I want to put stuff on. So I think I'm just going to try one technique and see. Okay, so that still isn't working. Gosh darn it. Okay. Y'all, I promise I'm going to get it together. So, since this is double-sided, go ahead and get you out the way. So I think I'm just going to do this week first, just to see how I like and see if it's too busy for me. So that's my clock in and clock out. Did I want that right there? No, I did not. So the way I want to utilize this is to write down, because apparently my badge just does not work. So instead of being able to clock in and clock out, I have to manually put my time in and make sure that it's approved, because yeah, it's going to be very, 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 very annoying. And as of now, December 19th, I'm still missing a password. So it's actually one system that I actually cannot get into, which is the main system. It's the system that I need to clear out patient specimens. So in order for me to, call criticals and everything, I need the password. I need to be able to get into the system. Yeah, I don't have the password. I don't have access to it. The manager tried and it's not working. So I had to have another tech log in and use their login, and that is not something that you want to do, because what if I jack something up? What if I mess something up? Now it's going to be on her. Even though it was me, it doesn't matter if I was the one who did it, it's on her. So it's always something. Every time I start a new contract, it is, and it goes like this. They know I'm coming at least a good 2 to 3 weeks ahead of time, but nothing is actually done. Nothing is actually done until I'm there. My passwords don't work. They don't know who's training me. They don't know who's training me. They don't know where they're gonna put me at in the schedule, which I don't understand that. But whatever. And sometimes I'm just standing there like a bumping log, and I'm like, okay. Sometimes I get trained by the worst people, the absolute worst people. I've been trained by people who I don't even understand how they still work in the lab. It just irks. It just irks the hell out of me. I've heard some horrible stories. It's a lot. The lab is a machine. So this is what I'm going to use to clock in, clock out. Clock in, lunch, clock out. And I normally always write down who I'm relieving and who's relieving me. Because, yeah, y'all ain't about to sit there and be like, well, I didn't. Yeah, yes, you did. I don't play any of that. You're not about to screw me over. And there's reasons why I do that. So, do not care that this is the same color. And Because at first I was going to write down my break, but sometimes I don't get a break. Like when I worked last Wednesday, ooh, it was so busy over there. I did not get a break. Did I eat lunch? I think I did eat lunch. But this is going to be clocking in, lunch, clocking out. Because I always write down what I have, because every once in a while, the system doesn't catch it, and I have to go back in, and I do not remember. I know what time I gotta be there. I know what time I get there. Sometimes I may be a little bit late, and let me fix this. And sometimes I may be a little bit late leaving, but sometimes I don't remember. So this one I'm keeping here, Weekend Adventures. That is definitely what I know I'll be having. Because, man, the weekends, these people be losing their minds. So, actually, fine with that. Like I said, Sunday, I don't know the schedule as it came out for that. Because, for work, yeah. So, I'm just going to leave that blank for now. I'm just going to try just to see how it's going to work. And I don't like that this thing cuts. But I'm going to see how it works. Hopefully, I won't have to be writing down a lot of stuff. Hopefully, I won't have to be writing down a lot of stuff. But I don't know. I've been in some weird labs. You know, I write down everything. What I used to do is, I don't know, I may do it again, but I used to do a tally of how many specimens I did. So, say like if I'm in blood bank. So say if I'm in blood bank, I'll normally tally how many type and screams. If I gave out any blood, how many units I gave out. If I had any NTPs, though, I actually, would sit there and tally that on. And some days, I'm like, wow, y'all is killing people out here, because why so many people need blood? Oh, how you just gonna come off, sir? Nobody asked you to come off. You just been joining the party. But sometimes I tally up the serologies I've done. I don't tally up anything in chemistry, because I could get a few hundred specimens, and I'm not doing that. If I have anything of note, then yeah, I definitely write that down, because I just like to see how every hospital handles certain things. If it's an abnormal number of people coding, I was at one hospital, and every day for 3 days somebody died, and I'm like, that's abnormal. As much as people think people die in the hospital a lot, people really don't die in the hospital that often. So that was abnormal. We're all like, why is there so many deaths? Or in my other place, if I had to do legal draws, somebody's drunk, the state trooper come in, I draw their blood. Sometimes I used to have like 3 or 4 in a week, and I'm like, yeah, I need to stop drinking and driving. Another place I went to, the prisoners came in, so I have to draw the prisoners. So I'll be like, how many prisoners I had this week? The lab is wild, and that's why I love it, but I also hate it. And I was going to use these, but I'm not going to. But this is, I'm excited to start using this. And I always use colorful notepads. So when I leave notes for people, they know who it is. They be like, yeah, this must have been Shayla, because she got all the colorful, pretty notepads. I have to let people know what's going on. And I want anybody to be like, oh, I was in the forum. Yeah, you were. Yes, the heck you were. And I will be using these too. So I'm thinking I can even use these in the clock in, clock out to write on. It all depends. I may use those another week. Of course, I have my stickers. Like I said, I may or may not track stuff. My little New Year's. And I actually haven't finished behind, is it going to be behind this or behind, I think behind this area, I wanted to do some yearly goals and everything specifically for work. So this planner isn't even really finished. I just haven't ordered anything else. But my January setup, I will most likely when I end up filming another week, I will go ahead and put down all the other stickers. I always write out my holidays because I'm either working or not. I mean, they don't mean nothing to me. I'm probably gonna be at work anyway. But I do write National Sticker Day here. Anything that goes on at the hospital, in my emails, I normally write them here, especially if it's like dates and everything going on for the hospital. I always write them there. And then, of course, I'll write down my benches. This is how I'll label this one. Anything like big happen, the system went down, we're on downtime, somebody called out, or I need to remember something, I put it here. My to-dos are going to be depending on my benches. Then I know exactly everything I need to do for the week. Anything important is if anything breaks down that I need to pass on to another tech. Looking ahead is going to be for the next week. And then taking notes is probably just being, if there's just something that somebody tells me I need to figure out. And then on the other side, clock in, my lunch, I clock out, who I relieved, who relieved me. Because before I did, I was going to do like clock in and maybe my break. Now, what I'm thinking of doing in this little area, like this area here, and probably a little bit, probably like halfway here. Write down what I ate. Because the sister be forgetting. The weekend adventures, oh, that's going to be funny. Matter of fact, didn't I have these stickers? Nope, that is not it. That is not it. Y'all gotta help me out. A sister is struggling. Okay. Let's see. Now, where was it? None. But they just there. There we go. I will put these. I'll go ahead and put this at the bottom. Because sometimes we're so busy that you actually don't get to drink any water. You can't have it at your bench because you don't want to have anything on your glove, and then you touch your water bottle. Now you got all types of diseases on your lips or something like that. So I have to put down that I hydrate, that I at least drink my water before I clock in, when I go on break for lunch, and step away. But I have to make sure, because with my heart failure, the pills I take, the diuretics, pulls everything out. And I ain't trying to do all that stuff, but this is how everything's going to work. And then this here is going to be a daily section. So when I have extra notes, like if I have training I have to do, I put all my training here. But what I am going to do for now until I get there, because I should be done with all my training, is I'm going to take all of the papers, which I have no idea where I put them at. But all my papers that I have folded up here, I'm going to put them here. So this section right here is going to be actually mine here. And so I won't forget, because the system forgets. Okay, so this is going to be the general lab. And my passwords. Because, man, I'm tired of forgetting my freaking passwords. Because it's so many passwords. So many passwords. And so, passwords. And then this is going to be chemistry. Because the system I work with, the worksheets to get into the system to process patient specimens, they have different worksheet codes. It doesn't make any sense, but it's just a whole bunch of extra stuff for nothing. So chemistry, and then the next big bench from chemistry is hematology. That way I can have my quick notes there. to having to go grab a book. We have hematology and blood bank. And blood bank, you always have something you need to write down. And make sure you remember it because, baby, I love being a blood banker, though, but oof, headache central. Microbiology, they do so much at their microbiology place for them not to read the plates. I'm not used to that, but we send all our plates out, you know, because they're consolidating all the microbiology. And then I have urinalysis. Then I use this one for coag. And then the last one, was it this one? Yeah. This one was serology. And here, I don't have to worry about drawing patients, so I'm fine with that. So I don't need to have phlebotomy stuff here. So what I'm going to do is on my 4 days off on Christmas holiday, I'll just go ahead and fill everything in. My training is done by then. So this will be all the stuff that I need. And then next time you see it, it'll be filled. And this is where I'm going to go ahead and put my daily section, which means I need to order some more. I need to order some mini daily sheets. And then appointments. Our analyzer broke down and we were waiting for a service to come. This is what I'll be using this for. I'll write it down what's going on. But then once I make the call to service, I'll write down the date, time, what bench, who I talk to, when they're coming, and if they're coming. Because sometimes they'll be like, yeah, we're not sending nobody out for 2 weeks. You're like, okay. But yeah, this is going to be my work planner, and I'm so excited. So excited to start working it. You'll see more later.